I'm tripping.
The survivor, no, Dyer, I'll explain.
I should go to bed.
The survivor with cat is, I think, Alan, right? It's Alan. And the survivor that I have is a feral skin, and it's called Maria.
Alright.
But we are in with the game.
Yeah. Who's taking intro? This is usually this is a great behind the scenes. This is a great behind the scenes showing. Like, this is the number one question while we are loading in. The two casters are always saying, who's taking intro? Was it yours? Was it mine? This is always the last question before we are going live in a tournament and you see us again. It's always the two casters saying, are you or me taking intro? And while we're talking so much shit, we already have the first down right here onto Rats. Great start for our nurse here. Nurse on Cold Tower, Yuli, I don't know how you see it, but nurse on Cold Tower is just on DVD for me.
Yes. I agree with you, and actually I thought that we will not see nurse tonight. But we actually made it into a nurse trial, a nurse set, and what we already see Rats being down, Rats being on the hook. Another survivor has been found, the gen has been popped. That does not look good right now, but I wouldn't say it too quickly, because we still have plenty of how can we say that? The plot twist, right? Everything can change in a second. We can see the 4 downs in 30 seconds, and we can see an absolute efficiency on the gen side, right? So everything can happen. What do you think?
Absolutely, and good moves like this, like Urushi's locker juke, is something you really need after you took a quick down like Rat. But you need a little bit of time onto the generators. Urushi now taking the injury. Interesting to see our nurse does not go for the tunnel strategy. Usually, and especially on nurse and blight, we do see this strategy because you can be confident that you are going to take out one survivor. In this case, it is going to be Urushi being the second oak stage. So the survivors not facing a tunnel out yet, not having to deal with a potential early elimination here. On the other hand, we do see a very clear strategy by our nurse. Agitation sounds wild at the beginning, but if you can control where the hook is and in which area you want to guard a hooked survivor and the generators, that is such a tactical advantage for you. And having it on the nurse is even more insane. So I would say good idea and also really paying off here.
That's right. We have seen 3 survivors POVs right now, and Carrie McBerry is hiding behind this tile to be ready for a safe. Our Rat is on the gen that is almost done. As I saw it was at around 80%, but now I do not see anything because of the bug. But let's bear with that. Let's bear with some behavior problems of spectating, let's say. Rats is going down, and I believe he had a gen somewhere that was almost done. The question is, will other survivors finish it in time? Or, yes, they will pick a safer strategy of resetting. I think resetting against nurse is a very, very common move, because as long as you are healthy, the time of chases is increased. Therefore, the time of generators, the repairing of generators, is also increased. So now we see two survivors are cranking gens, which is good, and 1 survivor is being chased. Actually, even tunneled, right? Because this is Rats. Now when we see it not on the distance, Shak is now a Athena, how we love to say. Direwolf, please tell me, what do you expect from this? What is happening?
Yeah, if they don't have a long chase in the mid game, and if they are not able to prevent the tunnel out on one of these survivors or the elimination of one of these survivors, then it's going to look really, really difficult. There's now going to be hook state number 4, and it is going to be exactly the elimination I just mentioned. Now you're on 3 survivors, on 3 generators remaining on the coal tower. There's a lot of work to do. It depends a little bit how much progress we already have in the other generators, but especially if Carrie McBarry would suffer from a 2-tap here, which is quite often happening against the nurse, and we see it here as well, then it's going to be such a difficult trial. Our nurse here coming out with absolute confidence and making clear that there's no mercy to be shown.
That's true. You know, Dyer, I think our team is doing pretty good, including the fact that this gen is almost 85, right? Oh, right, it has been eruption. But due to the fact that our nurse has 2 banned perks, our nurse has agitation plus eruption and pop combo is also banned for nurse. So these perks were banned for a reason, for a good reason. And unfortunately, our nurse did not stick to the rules. This time, this is not a restart, this is not a black card or anything. We will just see how it goes. But right now we can state how much harder the games are going when the gameplay started to be a little bit unfair towards one side.
Absolutely, yeah. The moment when you lose one survivor, that is really the turning point in any DBD game, and especially in a comp game. You need your entire efficiency, you need all your resources on the generators, and as soon as you lose one survivor, then there's one survivor hooked, so the survivor from the generator needs to go for the save, and the third survivor is going to be in a gen, and in that moment the entire efficiency of the team is shrinking towards 0, and then it's basically the killer playing and progressing the game towards achieving his goal, and on the other hand you just have the survivor team trying to counterplay and struggle. Carry going back down once again. Orochi and Veroniki, the 2 survivors that have to carry the McBarry out of the trial here if they are going to be efficient on the generators. But right now, I really don't see it happening. The nurse too strong. Yeah, Carrie has 2 minutes of hang time, but the control is high. We have another pop gig putting this generator back towards 0. So there's just nothing really the survivor team can pull out of the sleeves.
Especially, we have 3 gens on the main side, right? And this could be very hard to break it in because our nurse has agitation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not understand why we are so upset, then I will explain it one more time. We have 2 banned perks on nurse, which is making the gameplay a little bit unfair, and this is very hard to watch because we want to keep our DBD league environment healthy, fair, and enjoyable for everyone, and it can only be enjoyable when 2 sides are playing fairly. Right now we don't see that. Right now we see Veroniki is hiding, unfortunately, in the corner of the map, because the only chance for them to escape would be finding a hatch or escaping into the gates, which would be a little bit complicated. So, Dyer, what do you think about it? I honestly do not have words, especially now when we see that Nurse decided to slug Carrie McBarry to find Veroniki. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a strategy. I think it's a no mercy strategy, but I think it's valuable, and I think when you want to play for the 4K with the best possible result, then you have to show no mercy, and then you have to be a little bit hard sometimes. So I understand our survivor team is suffering right now. I understand the combination of the perks nurse broad against the rule set is hard to deal with, but honestly, this nurse is showing a lot of confidence. This nurse is showing a lot of pressure on the survivor team, and now the nurse wants to take the reward out of the performance. And I think slugging for that is absolutely the right decision here and a good strategy to take. We'll see how long Veroniki can hide though, because Carrie is about to bleed out in around about 2 minutes from now. So We might see a last second escape here from the staff team, might be through the hatch or even the exit gates. Nancy here doing a little bit of spinning in order to go for the avoiding the crows. Interesting to see when we are deciding to go for the pickup. We will know the location of the hatch, so we are removing the RNG factor here, but honestly, I think with the confidence the nurse has shown so far, Veroniki is not going to make it out here.
And that would be very unfortunate. Yes, Veronica has been found, and I think this is very unfortunate. Honestly, I don't feel good about this match, and this is for a reason. Yes, flagging to find the fourth survivor and trying to make the possible 4K is maybe a better decision, but at the same time, when we talk about fairness and how we call it, competitive fairness, right? It's a sportsmanship. In terms of sportsmanship, that was a little bit off. And of course, here in DBDL League, we do not appreciate such behavior. Now I guess we're just going to spectate how Veroniki is hiding. Our Nancy is hiding somewhere in the corner. And I believe Nurse just wants the 4K, and if Nurse wants a 4K, usually Nurse gets 4K.
Yeah, Veroniki in the very, very difficult spot here behind this rock. What is she going to do? It is going to be all the responsibility onto this, now going to be hooked, and just the last seconds for our Nancy. Will she be able to find the hatch? Will she be able to escape? That's the big question here. Veroniki, the hope of the staff team of DVD League is on your shoulders. Will you be able to make it out of here? Will we see the decision to go for an exit gate? It seems like that. We are going to stay far away from the hatch. What we usually see then is bringing out 10 or 15% of the exit switch right before the first light is going to show up, and then hiding again to make sure that no one is noticing it. The nurse, however, is coming over, and I think Nancy is a little bit too loud, so we are going to see the down right here. GG's, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very strong nurse that came out here. Very strong showing and trying to counterplay from our staff team. And we do have the final game of the day. That is going to be Basic Nerd coming in. Hopefully not a nerd in killing survivors, because our staff team will be intimidated. So let's see how it's going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we will set up the match and we will see you right after a short break.